loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a brand new pick a card reading, and this one is all about your next relationship. So if you're currently single and you're wondering who's coming into my life next, what can I expect from them, what's going to be happening, what's going to be going on, what are they like, all of the details. We're going to try to get as much details as we can today. We're going to try to make it juicy as possible. So that is the topic of today's video. The way that this video works is I use the tarot cards and the oracle cards and my intuition to connect to guides, angels, and spirits of 100% pure white light to bring you information that's for your highest good. I have 4 different groups in front of me today, and you're going to use your intuition to choose one of these 4 different groups. Occasionally your intuition may draw you towards multiple groups, and that just means that there's multiple messages for you in today's video. Maybe there's a couple people coming into your life next, who knows? But you'd go ahead and tune into all the ones that your intuition is calling you towards the most. The way that your intuition works is it is your 6th sense, and everybody has intuition, everybody has a 6th sense, and it's your ability to read energy. And so perhaps when you saw the different groups, maybe there was one that stood out to you amongst the rest. That is, of course, your intuition speaking to you, because the energies within that pile and the themes within it are resonating with your energy, and that's why it's going to be incredibly accurate for you. But if visually not looking at the groups, or if visually looking at the groups is not really working out for you, another thing that you can do is you can take your hand and just gently hold it over each of the piles, just sort of feeling what type of energy you sense in that pile. Perhaps there's one that's going to stand out to you amongst the rest. Perhaps there's one that's going to give you a kind of magnetic pull sensation towards it, or maybe a hot or cold sensation, or again, it's just going to stand out to you. That's, of course, again, your intuition, and you'd go ahead and tune into that group. There's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box, as well as the description box, so you can easily navigate to your personal reading. And for those of you that enjoy picking your group via the crystals and you like to see a close-up of them, I'm going to be giving you a little close-up of each of the crystals. So on group number 1, we have this beautiful opalite sphere. So if you find yourself drawn to the opalite sphere or to group 1, that is going to be your pile. Then, of course, I don't know if I can balance this again. There we go, look at that. Okay, then on group number 2, we have this beautiful piece of sunset aura quartz. So if you find yourself drawn to this crystal or to group 2, then that is going to be your pile. Group number 3, we have this gorgeous, why am I blanking on the name? Lemurian, Larimar. We have this beautiful Larimar heart. So if you find yourself drawn to the Larimar, then group 3 is going to be your pile. And then beautiful group 4, we have this Lapis Lazuli. So if you find yourself drawn to group 4 or to the Lapis, then that is going to be your pile. So again, there's timestamps linked down below so you can skip ahead to your personal reading, and I cannot wait to see you inside. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so my group 1s, let's go ahead and see who we have the card of Great and Full, which is the trophy, as your first card that's coming out. Your person is actually going to be extremely successful, and they'll be at a point in their life where they've accomplished a lot. They have a lot to show for it, and in fact, the fact that we have the 4 coming out as well, this person has a very well-rounded career. They're very secure, very stable, and very successful. They've achieved a lot of things, and they're already very fulfilled when it comes to their personal aspirations and goals. They've already achieved a lot in their life. I'm also seeing that they likely already own a home, because the 4 talks about foundation, and it's very much related to the home. And so what I'm getting as well is that they've already probably purchased a home. They've already became very successful. I see them as either a business owner or somebody who has made it very high up in their career. But they're very, very stable and secure, and they're already very accomplished. And yeah, then we also have the card of a powerful move. They are also like, this person is very like stable in who they are, And they are also somebody who doesn't get knocked down very easily. They've made a lot of powerful moves already in their life, and they've come to a position where they're already kind of at the top. Like, they're really looked up to. People really look up to them. People come to them and ask them, like, how did you accomplish all this success? How did you do all of this? And they're also somebody who is like, they don't get knocked down by like negative comments or negative situations. Like, they're very sturdy and sure of themselves, and they don't really care about other people's opinions. Like, this is a very strong-minded person. It's kind of like one of those people where they walk into a room and they kind of like, their presence is just very powerful and people really respect them. Like, this person, their energy creates respect, if that makes sense. They just have this very powerful, very, I almost want to say like very masculine energy where they just create respect around them because of how sturdy, stable, and rooted they are and how sure of themselves they are. Like, this person really knows who they are, to say the least. We also have close encounters. This person, you're either really close to them already or you're very, very, very close to meeting them. They're like either right around the corner for you and you're going to meet them very, very, very soon, or they're kind of like within your field already. Perhaps like you have mutual friends, or perhaps you even work with this person. Or perhaps you've just had like interesting synchronicities. Like, when you meet this person, I feel like you're both gonna have these interesting synchronicities of like, oh wait, we like went to the same high school, or we, went to the same college, or, there's gonna be certain synchronicities where there's almost like these close encounters where it almost seems like you guys were fated to meet each other. I also feel like your person is very highly ambitious. They also still have like big goals and big dreams, and they are a go-getter. They are an achiever. They're somebody who, there's no dream too big. If you told them like, oh, I really want to go on this dream vacation over here, but it's like, it costs this much, this person would be like, you know what? We got this. We can make it happen. I'll make it happen for you. This person loves to surprise you. This person is going to love to, basically lift you up to make your dreams a reality. Like, this person's so ambitious. They also really enjoy like ambitious conversations. So maybe you're somebody who's ambitious as well, and you two will really relate on that. But this person really wants to help you make your dreams become a reality, because this person is such a high go-getter that even when you have a dream, I feel like they're going to uplift you towards achieving that as well. Because that's just kind of the energy of who this person is. That's just who they are. So let's go ahead and see what other traits we can find out about this person. We just had a bunch of cards just fly out of here. So we're gonna reshuffle this, kind of cleanse the energy, dive into it. I'm also getting that this person is very like, they're logical. They like to plan things. They are very like sturdy. Like, if they give you a promise, this person's gonna uphold that promise. They are not somebody who goes back on their word. But again, they're also so stable in who they are. So it's like, you could banter with them and make fun of them, and they're still gonna be like very confident and just have fun with you. Like, this person knows how to have fun. They're not easily offended because they're just so rooted in themselves, if that makes sense. I also feel like this person has like a free kind of energy as well. Like, on top of them being so stable and so secure, especially when it comes to career and all of these things, they're also somebody who likes to explore. They like to have fun. They like to also have a lighthearted energy as well. And I feel like what they're looking for, the last piece of the puzzle, is them finding love. They have perhaps closed off their heart in certain ways, especially with this cage showing up here as well. Like, they may have closed off certain aspects of themselves because they were afraid of getting hurt, or maybe they just spent so much of their life building up their career that they kind of forgot how to open up their heart. And I feel like you're going to be somebody who is able to kind of give them butterflies when they haven't felt butterflies in a long time, but I feel like they're going to be feeling butterflies with you. And if you're somebody who's also closed off your heart in certain ways and you haven't felt those butterflies in a long time, this person is going to be the one that evokes those butterfly-esque feelings for you, where you're just like, I feel like my heart's fluttering whenever this person messages me. It kind of almost feels dreamlike, I want to say. We also have 4 of Wands showing up, so the number 4 is showing up for you again. This person is definitely represented by 4 energy. So if you start seeing 444 around, I feel like it's kind of a sign of you meeting this person. The 4 of Wands also tells me this person definitely like owns a house, they own a business, they are so secure and so successful already. I feel like they already have a big like, you know, savings account or like investments. They just have a lot of like financial security, career security, and just security in the material world already. They're also very secure energetically as well, because the 4 of Wands talks about energetics. The 4 of Wands also talks about marriage and commitments. So this person is a very committed person as well, and they're also looking for marriage. This person wants marriage. They don't want like a fling. They want something that's lasting. And I feel like it's because this person already has such a committed type of energy. We also have Death being reversed and 7 of Swords being reversed. So this person also, I feel like, is going through some big transformations, and perhaps they're at a point in their life where they want to transform how they spend their time. Because they've spent so much of their time on business that this person is like, I want to spend my time now on love. I want to spend it on family. I want to spend it on joy and celebration, but they want somebody to celebrate it with. They're kind of feeling, I feel like your person, they feel a little bit lonely. And when they meet you, they're going to get really excited. But of course, I feel like it does take them a little bit of time to open up, because they know what they want. And when they commit to something, they're very committed, but they want to make sure that they're committing to the right thing, right? So it might be a little bit slow off the bat, but as this relationship progresses, and if you really feel like you're connecting to this person, I really feel like they're going to be so committed. They're a very honest, reliable person. And yeah, they're all of that. I also feel like when you meet them, the fact that we have these 2 chess pieces here and one's being like knocked off, I actually feel like this is telling me that when you meet them, there's going to be this feeling like they kind of knock everyone out of the park for you. So when it comes to like your exes or other people that you used to dream about perhaps getting to know or dating, they kind of knock them all out of the park. And you're going to be like, wait, like this is like the ideal kind of person. And I feel like they're also going to kind of look at you that way as well. And yeah, so the Death card being reversed, I feel like they are going through a transformation of how they're wanting to spend their time. 7 of Swords being reversed, I feel like this person has been cheated on before. Maybe even you have as well. And so there's going to be this sort of energy where there's a lot of caution in the beginning. Perhaps there's a lot of slowness of like really wanting to get to know each other, really wanting to see like, okay, where's your head at? But there's going to be some caution with this card being reversed. This person really likes to think ahead, and they really like to plan ahead. And so I feel like getting to know each other, there's going to be, I don't know, there's like a slowness to it where this person might be a little bit more slow with warming up and opening up. But as you open them up, this person really wants that commitment. So they do want to open up. But again, I just feel like they're a little bit slow at it because of what they've experienced before. Yeah, Justice reversed. This person may even be divorced, by the way. They may have been married before and have closed their heart off a little bit because either they've been already in such a committed relationship where they were maybe about to get married, or they really thought that they were going to get married and then it didn't work out. And so again, it kind of made them close off their heart. But Justice being reversed almost makes me feel like they were possibly even married before. And then that's why they're a little bit more cautious, because they really want to make sure like that they're doing the right thing and making the right decision. So that's going to be why they're a little bit more slow and a little bit more, yeah, cautious, to say the least. We have romantic feelings popping up though. So this person absolutely is going to feel romantic feelings towards you, but they're a bit slower, right? I also feel like there's going to be like very mutual feelings of romance towards each other and a lot of excitement. But I think the excitement really brews as you get to know them more and more. That's going to be where it really brews. Let's see what else we get. We also have very soon, okay? So one thing I was getting with close encounters as well is that this person's kind of right around the corner for you, or you've already like just met them, or possibly have like some sort of connection to them already, okay? If not, again, they're coming very soon into your life. We also have forgiving and learning, and then we also have heart-to-heart conversations. This person's also very open to having hard conversations. And I think it's because they're such a leader already and they're so accomplished, and being so accomplished really requires you to learn how to have hard conversations. It requires you to learn how to really communicate. So this person's actually a great communicator. They're amazing at communication. They're also amazing at forgiveness and growing. So what makes this person such a great partner, I actually feel like this person's going to be such an amazing partner in so many ways. And the reason why I'm really feeling that is because this person has the maturity to forgive and also has the maturity to actually learn from their mistakes. So if you brought up something to them and you're like, hey, I really didn't like that you did this, I really didn't like this person is so willing to grow and learn, which is one of the reasons why they're already so successful in their careers, because they've been willing to like learn from feedback, learn from criticism, learn from mistakes, and grow because of it. And so they already have that quality now going into relationships. And I feel like it's going to translate really well for them to also be like willing to learn and grow. They're also really into having deep conversations. I feel like this person, a way to their heart is through their mind, and they really like to conversate. They like to go deep. They like to really know what's truly on your heart. They like those real like in-depth conversations. I feel like that's what makes this person fall in love, is when they get those like heart-to-heart, deep conversations, the realness, the rawness. And as you begin to open them up in those ways, I feel like that's where you both are going to really fall in love. But the key is about opening them up in that way first. Because I do feel like this person does have a little bit of a fear of getting their heart broken again. A little bit of a fear, so they're just, a bit more cautious. We also have, look at this, listening and talking. This person definitely likes to talk and hear and listen and have fun conversations. The card here says influence. So for one, that could talk about like being an influencer, but that's not like fully what I'm getting, especially not for like most people here, but that could be something that does apply to some of you. And you're going to know if that's relevant to you or not. But influence also, what I'm getting from this is that this person, I feel like once they have their heart open, it's like if you ask for something or if you really desire something, this person is like so driven to make it happen. Once you've unlocked their heart, they're so driven to make you happy. They're so driven to make your dreams happen. Like if you tell them like, oh man, my dream is to go to Italy. It's my dream. And let's say that you already have this like love connection with them. This person's gonna be like, wow, I really want to surprise you with this. I really want to give you this experience. I want you to have this experience as well. And again, it all comes through opening up and getting this deep connection with them. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you, my group ones. Ooh, okay, so we also have fate and we have the outlaw. So fate, I feel like this is a very fated connection. You two are gonna feel that when you meet each other. It's almost like it was like meant to be, it was meant to happen. The outlaw makes me feel like this person has had negative breakups before, and they have gone through they've gone through hard stuff before, which is again why they're a little bit hard to open up at first, and perhaps that's a little bit on your side as well. But this connection is definitely fated. It's definitely meant to be. I also feel like this person stands out. They have no issue standing out as well. They have no issue being themselves. They don't feel like they need to hide themselves for anybody. Like this person is very much like themselves, right? It might take them a little bit to open up emotionally, but they are very much themselves at the core already and unapologetically themselves. They're somebody who wants to be loved for who they are, and they're not afraid of like rejection. No, they don't want to get their heart hurt, so it takes them a little bit to open up, but they're not afraid of being rejected for being themselves, if that makes sense. Like they're not willing to hide who they are. They don't want to hide who they are. They're of course going to be who they are. Hopefully that contrast is making sense. So the contrast basically is like they are themselves. They're fully themselves. They don't care if people don't like them. However, it does take them a second to open up their heart to somebody and to be vulnerable in those ways. So hopefully that distinction is making sense. Anyway, with that being said, let's dive into our Astro Dice to get some more information on this person. Ooh, so we have the South Node in Libra in the first house. So the South Node talks about the past. Libra talks about balance. It can also talk about love, flirtation, all these things. The first house is about the self. So one thing that they're realizing is that one of their regrets actually is not prioritizing love more throughout their earlier years. Because I feel like they're super successful now in their career, but one of their biggest things is like they're feeling there's a missing piece because they haven't found their person yet. And that's like a missing piece that they want to create. Also, we have Libra, which is like balance. They want a balanced relationship. They don't want a relationship where it's just about them and somebody needs to be exactly who they want them to be and all these things. They don't want that type of imbalance. They want like two people who are completely free in themselves, completely fulfilled on their own, but come together to have a shared, amplified experience together. That's what they're seeking. They're seeking like mutual respect, mutual support, mutual love, mutual fulfillment. Like they're seeking mutuality rather than like one-sided type of thing. So they really want balance in that sense. And they want somebody who also is sure of themselves and loves themselves and knows who they are, because they are so fulfilled themselves already that they're kind of seeking somebody else who also is similar on that and can create fulfillment together. Like that is what this person is wanting, and that's perhaps also where you're at in your life right now. But this is all about your next relationship. I'm so curious now to roll the Astro Dice to get any potential zodiac signs. We have Libra definitely as a theme with Justice popping up, and then Libra had popped up just recently. So we have some Libra energy definitely being prominent, but let's go ahead and see any other likely zodiac signs. We also have Cancer, Aries, and Scorpio. Cancer, Aries, and Scorpio. And again, those are just the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that your person will likely be. Of course, these are general readings, so that can shift a little bit. It can be a little bit different for each of you, but the most likely energies coming through are those ones. So that is all about your next relationship. It's definitely with somebody who's very successful, who's found themselves at a very successful position in their lives, but are now definitely seeking like marriage, family, and their life partner. So my beautiful group number 1s, that is what we have here for you. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is gonna be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 2s, your next relationship. Let's see who your person is. So we have the Mother of the Sea, Goddess. I surrender to the boundless creative flow of the ocean. So for one, I'm getting that your person is actually very imaginative, probably very artsy, very creative. Let's go ahead and see what else we can get here as well. Mother of the Sea coming up as well. I feel like this person has a lot of ideas, because the mother can represent ideas that we want to bring into the world. So your person is very imaginative and very creative. And let's see who else they are. Ooh, we also have number 44 popping up. Ooh, wow, okay. So this person is seeking commitment and stability. They're also more of a reliable person as well, on top of them being like artsy and creative and all of that. And then we also have the Awakener, Rise, and we also have the Morning Star, Radiance. Ooh. Okay, so the Awakener, I rise out of the ashes, I rise like the golden sun. Your person has actually been through a lot of different experiences in life. Like they've had lows, they've kind of maybe had humble beginnings where they didn't come from much, but they've been creative and they've learned how to kind of, you know, create success and create more of the things that they want to experience in life, regardless of their kind of more humble beginnings. But they have kind of come from a background that has been hard. They've gone through things that are difficult, and they've learned how to be creative through that to kind of rise, right? I shoot for the stars. This person has really big dreams, to say the least. I feel like they have really big dreams, and they're still in the pursuit of those dreams, is what I'm feeling from this. Your person is still pursuing big dreams, and when you meet them, they kind of have this like big dream energy where if you talk to them about their ambitions, like they have high ambitions and they're still very much in the pursuit of attaining those, and they are driven to attain those. So let's go ahead and get some more information about your person here as well. So my group twos, let's learn some more about this person. I feel like they're not quite satisfied with where they're at in life yet. Like they still have much higher goals to reach, and they are absolutely pursuing them. We also have the Hangman being reversed. So they are in active pursuit of these different goals. Like they're not just staying stuck. They're driven, they're trying, they're moving forward, they're taking action. Perhaps they're also in school for something. That's something that I'm kind of getting from this. They're either in school for something to like learn how to achieve something, or they're kind of still the student to learning how to achieve their bigger dreams. They're kind of still learning something in a way, whether that be through physical school or again through their own learnings, reading books, and trying to strive for higher things. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. So they also are decently stable even as it is right now. They still have like a sense of security. So they still have a job, they're still making money, doing things, but they're in the pursuit of something higher and bigger, because whilst they are in a decent position in their life already, they only feel like they've reached half of the success that they actually desire to create. They're still very creative and they have a lot of visions that they desire to bring to life. The Knight of Pentacles also gives me the sense that they're very committed to their higher vision. They're very committed to making things happen. And the Knight of Pentacles energy also says that they're committed in the sense of like relationships. So they're not here to kind of, create flings or anything like that. The Knight of Pentacles is a much more like committed type of energy. But let's see what else we get here as well. We also have the Magician being reversed. And we also have Strength, and then the Five of Wands being reversed. So with the Five of Wands showing up, I get the feeling that this person comes from a different ethnicity or religious background than you. So they either, again, are a different ethnicity or culture, or have some sort of different religious background. The Strength being upright, I feel like this person is fit. They likely go to the gym, and they have like a sense of like perseverance around their health, their well-being, and their mindset. This person does have a very strong mind. They could even be a little bit stubborn at times because of their like very strong mind. They have very strong opinions about certain things, but they do like to have conversation around opinions. Like they're definitely open to having conversations and talking, but I do feel like they have a very strong set of values and opinions, which actually makes them very well-rounded and very rooted in who they are. So they're not somebody who's like lost on who they are. They very much know who they are. The Magician being reversed here as well, I feel like they're still discovering how to manifest their desires, how to create their dreams. The Magician being reversed is like they are still kind of the apprentice to learning how to create the life that they fully desire. So they're kind of, again, just in the pursuit of that still. They're still climbing higher. Maybe they, for example, work a 9-to-5, but are pursuing something else on the side. Or, perhaps they're in their dream career, but they're not quite at the position that they want to be at yet. They still are desiring to kind of climb higher and to do more. So let's go ahead and get some more information all about your person that you are going to be seeing. Okay, so new love. This person, they may have actually not even been in love before. But I also feel like even if they have been in love before, the relationship with you is like a new type of love that they haven't felt before. and vice versa. I feel like it's going to be a new type of love that neither of you have really experienced before. And we also have this could be the one. So there's going to be a lot of like big hopes in this relationship where both of you are thinking like, okay, this could actually be my person. This could be the one that I've been seeking all of this time. So there's definitely going to be that sort of like underlying feeling of like, okay, I think that this could be my person. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you. My group 2 is all about your next relationship. Let's see, group 2's more about your next relationship. I feel like this person also really has like exciting things going on. There's not like a dull moment. With the Hangman being reversed, I feel like there's not a dull moment with this person. There's actually a lot going on. And let's see, what else do we have here for you? We also have guarded. So this person might be a little bit guarded when you meet them, which is kind of natural. A lot of people are at first, but they might shield off their emotions. Or perhaps even you might feel guarded when you meet them, and it'll take some time to kind of like unshield the heart to allow in a little bit more love. But I feel like the potential for love is definitely here in this relationship. And let's see what else we get here for you. My group 2 is all about your person. We also have patience. So it could take a little bit of time to like really get to the point of like depth where love is going to blossom. It could take a little bit of time, you know, kind of like a flame that needs to be nurtured. And a lot of the times the best, strongest relationships come through relationships where the flame is nurtured slowly and it's given time to really spark. This person also is somebody who does have a lot of patience. There's somebody who it's like they don't need you to rush in right away. They don't need things to happen right away. This person does have patience, and I also feel like they're not rushing to get married, nor are they rushing to like an end goal. They are a very committed person, and they desire to have like a committed love. But because of that, they're also like more patient. They're not in a rush for things. And so this relationship has this essence of patience around it. It's not like rushing into love. It's not rushing to move in together. It's not rushing to get married. It's very patient. It's more laid back. And this person is somebody who takes their time, especially with relationships, and they take their time with like getting to those big things, like saying the words, I love you, for example. This person, I feel like, takes their time with that. And they also take their time with like commitment. They're very committed once they commit, but they take their time, which is also why they're so committed once they commit, because they fully know for sure, like, okay, this is what I'm committing to, and I know what I'm committing to, and therefore there's like a lot more surety that's there. Let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. We also have the pillar. The pillar actually reminds me a lot of a wedding altar. So this person does want to get married. They're slow with it. They're not in a rush for it, but they do want that commitment, and they do want marriage, and that is something that they are looking for. And they're also looking for somebody that is supportive, and this person wants a supportive relationship where two people can both kind of support each other and have like a mutual foundation. We also have the card of reflect. They're looking for somebody who's like similar to them. Like they want somebody who's similar to them, and I feel like your relationship will have similar qualities between the both of you. And perhaps even while you're listening to this, you're like, hey, this sounds like quite a lot like me. Well, this relationship's actually going to reflect a lot of who you are in that case. We also have paradox. I feel like this card's making me feel like this person's really funny and humorous, and they're going to make you laugh a lot. And that's going to be one of the defining things about this relationship that makes this relationship stand out, is like this person makes you laugh a lot. They make you see the funny side of things. They make you see the alternate side of things. In fact, you two actually might have different beliefs when it comes to like even political views, or even just views on life in general. Like there could be some differences there. But this person, you both are kind of helping each other see the other side of things. Seeing how like two things can be true at once even, because that's what a paradox is, right? But you're also realizing like, hey, I can respect this person's point of views and also still understand my own, but this person is making me feel more well-rounded. This person is making me see a bigger picture to things. So that's gonna be another defining factor of this relationship, is you both being able to see things from a new perspective. So let's go ahead and roll our astro dice to see any more information here for you. So we also have the sun in Pisces in the 9th house. Yeah, belief systems. Wow, this person's gonna help you see an entirely new way of looking at the world, and vice versa. Both of you are kind of like sharing and reflecting on each other's views, perhaps even religion, culture, perspectives, thoughts, beliefs, values, all these different things. This person's gonna help you see a whole new way of looking at things. And I feel like it's gonna expand you as a person, and it's also going to expand them in completely profound new ways. Like the sun is like your radiance, your ability to shine, like all the things that you're so confident in, who you are, what your soul is. Pisces is imaginative, creative. Like this person's definitely very artsy, very creative. And then the 9th house is like beliefs, culture, worldviews, religion, all these types of things, even education. So I do feel like this person might be in school in some way, shape, or form, or still learning how to achieve their bigger vision. So that is what we have there. Let's go ahead and roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the most likely zodiac signs that this person will be. So we have Cancer showing up, so Cancerian energy. We also have Taurus energy and Aquarius energy. So those are the top 3 most likely zodiac signs. And I also want to mention, since it is a general reading, it doesn't mean that those are the for sure signs, but those are just the most likely ones that are going to be the most common ones for all of you. But of course, even if they're not one of those signs, it is still relevant, but we just like to get the most common, most likely ones based on the general energy of the reading. So that is what we have here for you, my beautiful group number 2s. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be all about your next relationship. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 3s, let's see about your next relationship, who your person is, all that jazz. We have Page of Cups being reversed. Then we also have, the 8 of Swords. We have the Ace of Wands. And then we have the 3 of Swords being reversed. Oh, how interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and start diving into some of this. So your person, they've actually gone through some deep heartbreak, and they might be very closed off by the time that you meet them. In fact, I'm almost getting the feeling for some of you that this might be an ex coming back into your life. Now, if some of you listening to this, because I know that these are general readings, so I just want to point out a few different options here. For a lot of you, I'm getting the feeling like this is an ex coming back. However, for those of you that are just like, I would never get back together with my ex, or even if you've never even had an ex before, then the other flip side of this that I'm getting is that your person, your next person, is actually going to be somebody who probably just got out of a relationship or is still closed off because of a negative experience in love. Or perhaps that even could be where you're at in your life. Maybe you've had a negative experience with love, and perhaps you're even the one that's closed off kind of moving forward. However, there's going to be something that sparks your interest. There's going to be somebody that stands out, that's just very, very different. They're different than your average person. They're fun, they are exciting. And it almost seems like, okay, this is actually what I'm getting here. It almost seems like if you're the type of person who's just like, I don't even know if I could commit to somebody again, I don't even know if I could fall in love again, I don't even know what that would look like. This type of person, I'm almost seeing your next relationship being something that's more of like, oh, I just want to enjoy myself. It's just going to be for fun. But I see this getting deeper. Maybe you're not seeking commitment. You're like, I don't want commitment. Well, interestingly enough, I'm seeing something where it's going to slightly perhaps pull at your emotions, even if you didn't intend it to, off the bat. But let's go ahead and get some more information here. For some of you, I'm definitely feeling like this could be like X energy, but for others of you, especially if it's just like, oh no, X is like absolutely not in the picture, that is not the thing. I see you kind of like, it's almost like you don't want to open up to love. It's almost like maybe you don't even want a relationship. But I am seeing you finding somebody who does spark enjoyment for you and fun and excitement. And let's go ahead and just get some more information to see more about where this is going and what's happening here. My beautiful group threes. Wow. Broken open and the land between. Wow. So, okay, this is becoming more and more clear. I'm going to be speaking to the ones where this is a new relationship coming in. So for those of you where it's just like, you can kind of see yourself getting back together with your ex, okay, then that's what we see there. But for those of you that it's just like, this is not about an ex, this is about clearly somebody new, and perhaps you're at a point in your life where, again, seeking love and romance seems like kind of impossible and not something, or something that's even been difficult for you. Your next person that's coming in is going to crack your heart open. The land between makes me feel like your next person is actually kind of like not even what you expected your path to be. It's almost like you had this linear path where you're just like, hey, no, I don't want a relationship. It's almost like it kind of broke off for you. And your next person is sort of just like, okay, well, I don't want to be necessarily lonely. And so maybe we start seeing somebody and somebody catches our interest. But then all of a sudden it bridges us. Look at this bridge. It bridges us right back to the path where we said we weren't going to go. Where all of a sudden we get broken open and our heart begins to heal. And we're like, hold on, wait a second. I think I'm falling in love. And I didn't even intend for that. Your next relationship is going to be a very unintentional relationship, my group threes. And even for those of you who've never been in a relationship before, perhaps you're kind of closed off to the idea of relationships, or maybe it's just been hard for you to go in that direction. I really feel like your relationship, the one that's actually going to crack you open to feeling love, is going to be something that happens very unexpectedly with somebody who you didn't even think you'd ever fall in love with. Okay? We have getting to know each other. As you get to know this person who's in your life, you're going to start falling in love with this person. And I feel like it's a very unintentional falling in love type of energy. It's like, wait a second, I did not intend for this at all. But then all of a sudden it just ends up blossoming. We also have the card of codependency. I feel like this is something you've actually feared. What I'm getting from this, codependency is something that you didn't want. Like, you like being independent is something that I'm really feeling. You like to be independent. I feel like you enjoy your independence. That's where you feel comfortable. Perhaps this is something that kind of scares you, but the interesting thing is what I'm getting from this. Usually codependency is a negative thing, but what I'm getting from your particular energy of this reading is that there's almost this energy of like, I don't need anybody in my life, I'm independent. But then all of a sudden, as you start to get to know this person, it almost is like this feeling of like, wait, I don't know how to imagine my life without you anymore. This is starting to get more serious now. What do we do here? So yeah, let's go ahead and get some more information on this reading here. Let's see. Ooh. My group threes, what else can we find out about your person? Regret. There's this fear of, I don't want to regret anything. I don't want to make a mistake. And that's perhaps what's been holding you or this person back the most, is this feeling of, I don't want to regret my choices. I don't want to do anything I regret. I don't want to ruin my friendship with this person. I don't want to ruin what we have. Therefore, what if I make a mistake? There's almost this fear of making a mistake that's either coming from you or this person, or from both of you. Let's go ahead and get some more details on this. We also have chemistry popping up for you. And then we also have patience. So patience is what is going to help all of this unfold. Sometimes we need to be patient and let things unfold as they may. Sometimes we want answers right away and we're just like, tell me where this is going. But sometimes patience is what allows things to brew. And so I feel like this relationship is going to just require patience to brew because it just seems like there's a lot of closed off energy. But it's like the heart is clearly getting broken open. We are fallen in love, you know what I mean? It's like we can't deny it. The chemistry is obviously there. And with time, the heart just grows fonder, right? And so, wow, I just feel like the heart is growing fond in this scenario. Let's go ahead and get some more cards on here to get some more information. Let's see, my group threes. Tell me more about this relationship. We also have surrender. It's almost like you just have to surrender to it because there's like no stopping the love that's clearly forming in this relationship. We also have paradox. Paradox always makes me feel like this person's very funny and they have like a funny sense of humor, but also at the same time, paradox talks about two truths that are similar at the same time. So this is almost making me feel like this relationship is a paradox in the sense where it's like, no, I'm not gonna fall in love, we're just friends. But the interesting paradox is like, well, we're not just friends and there is something deeper here and it is brewing and it is undeniable. So we also have the pillar. The pillar is about commitment, shared support, and it can also talk about weddings. However, I feel like that might be too far to talk about in this particular relationship, but the pillar can talk about like an altar, for example. I do feel like there's gonna be conversations with this person, perhaps not necessarily about weddings, but there's gonna be conversations with this person about, do we actually wanna commit to each other and take this a step further? That's what the pillar is showing here. And then we also have the magician popping up for you. There's magic brewing underneath this relationship. And then we also have the universe popping up as well. So, wow, I really feel like there's so much more here than what you initially intended it to be. There's so much more that's here. Friendship turned romantic relationship, to say the least. That is what is coming through. The magic is brewing, and there's so much more in the bigger picture. Let's go ahead and see our astro dice here as well to get any more information. We have the moon in Gemini in the second house. So the moon is the emotions. It's the emotions. There's mutual, deeper emotions that are clearly taking root. And wow, it's just undeniable. The second house deals with our material assets. And so I'm almost feeling in a sense where it's like there's this feeling of like, I don't want to taint what we have. I don't want to taint what's already here. But at the same time, it's like undeniable. We can't like deny it anymore. And as well, the second house deals with our self-worth as well. And so I feel like this person, you two are going to really start to see how valuable each other are in both of your lives. And it's sort of like, well, how could I ever let this go? There's so much value here. I can't imagine not having this person by my side. So with that being said, let's dive into our astro dice to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that this person is. And these are just the most likely signs. Again, these are general readings, so there can be some give or take room. We also have, we have Libra coming up as the first zodiac sign. We also have Leo, Libra, Leo, and Aquarius as the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that this person is. Of course, these are general readings, so there are some give and take leeway rooms, but those are just the most likely, most potent energetic signs that this person likely is in this general reading. So thank you again so much for joining me here for today's video. This was all about your next relationship. It definitely looks like something is brewing here where it almost felt like we were closed off before, but ooh, somebody's gonna open up your heart, my love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my last group, my group number 4 is if you chose this pile, this is gonna reveal all about your next relationship. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 4 is, let's see who is coming into your life next. Who is your next significant relationship? Let's see what we get. We have the whale coming up. So tenderness, show compassion, and forgive what needs to be forgiven. Your person that's coming in is very deep, They have a depth to them. They also might be a little bit mysterious at first and even shy at first is what I'm getting, but they have a very tender heart and they're very deeply loving. Oh my gosh, when you unlock this person's heart, there's a depth there unlike anything else. And actually I'm getting the sense that you and this person are actually going to have emotional depth that goes deeper than any of your previous relationships have gone before. There's gonna be a depth that's reached where you're just like, whoa, I didn't even know that relationships could feel this deep. I didn't even know people could feel this deep. We also have the horse coming through, which is free spirit. So another thing that I'm getting is this person, they have this like free spirit type of energy. They're very deep, they're mysterious, they're a little bit shy on the surface, but at the same time, they have this like very flowing type of energy where it's like they are a free spirit. They like to laugh, they like to have joy, they like to have fun, but they are more of an introvert, if that makes sense. They're an introvert who loves freedom, they love to explore, they love to have fun, they love to go out and like experience things, but they are more of an introvert is what I'm getting here. We also have panther, raven, and dolphin. So protection, consider who you allow to take your energy and who will give it away freely. So panther, protection. This person is very protective of their energy. Definitely more of an introvert type of feeling. They're very protective of their energy. They don't really like going out and partying or going into big groups. I feel like that makes this person feel more insecure. They like doing things in more intimate, smaller groups. And as well, they like to spend a lot of time even on their own. Okay. We also have raven, wise woman. The ravens also symbolize introvertedness, and they also symbolize intuition and being very tapped into your intuition. I feel like both of you are going to be very good at kind of like reading each other, tapping into each other's energy. And we also have dolphin, Atlantis. Dolphins are known for their brains and being very, very intelligent. I feel like this person is extremely intelligent, and it's actually very fun to talk to them because of how much they know. I feel like this person, either they're extremely well educated or they read a lot of books, or there's something else here where they're just like extremely well educated and they have a very sharp mind and they know a lot. I feel like that's also going to be something that allows them to be really successful because of how smart and intelligent they are. But again, they have a very introverted energy, but I almost feel like with the horse, ooh, you know what I'm getting from this? They're independent. They're extremely independent. They don't mind doing everything on their own. In fact, they can do anything on their own. And they've had to learn how to do a lot of things on their own. They're extremely independent, but also pretty introverted and a little bit more shy. And again, they like to do things alone, which also enhances the fact that they're so independent because they generally like to do things on their own. So that is your person, but they also deeply seek love. Like, I feel like when this person has somebody that they enjoy being around, that's where they feel totally like fully fulfilled. This person has no problem feeling fulfilled on their own, but oh my gosh, when they're with you and when they're with like somebody who they actually enjoy being with, oh, they love just to go deep, to talk about deep things. But this person is gonna be the type of person that kind of enjoys more like at home type of time. So when they spend time with you, they're the type of person who's like, you know what, let's like cook a romantic dinner at home and then like watch a cute movie or like do a craft or like do an activity together. They're not somebody who's like, oh my God, let's go out to the bar and let's go dancing and all that. Like, this is like, this person would not be caught dead going to a bar dancing. Like that's completely out of their comfort zone. This person is like more of a stay-at-home type of person. They are somebody who likes adventure, but not in the sense of like extroverted adventure. They like adventure in the sense of like, okay, well, let's go traveling and let's go on a hike together, right? Because it's not around like a huge crowd of people or spending time with like tons of people. They kind of are, again, more of the introverted type of person, but they do like outdoor adventure and things like that as well. We also have Justice showing up in the reverse position. And Justice can talk about like, especially when it comes up reversed, is that they've had times in the past where like other relationships haven't had honesty. They've dealt with like dishonesty. They've dealt with getting their feelings hurt. And I feel like one of the things that bothers them is dishonesty. This person does not like dishonesty. But at the same time, I'm getting a little bit that this person might tend to be a slight people pleaser where they have a hard time being very directly honest, but they can insinuate their honesties, is kind of what I'm getting. Like, this person really appreciates honesty and they like honesty, but what I'm getting from this is that they, like, let's say that they don't want to do something. Like let's say you suggest going out to a bar, and that's like the furthest thing of what they want to do. Their type of honesty isn't like, no, I'm not a bar person. They're kind of more like, oh, you know, I'll definitely go if you want to go. It's not quite my thing, but I'll go if you want to go. You know, they're still like really kind, and they're still, you know, really respectful, but they're honest, but in a very kind and respectful way. Hopefully that's making sense. Let's see what else we get here for you. We also have the Six of Cups being reversed. So they definitely have had a previous relationship that didn't treat them right. It didn't end well. There's a previous relationship that didn't end well, and it might perhaps make them a little bit more apprehensive going into like a new relationship. They might still have a few barriers or guards up from the past, but I do feel like they will let those down as they get comfortable. Like, they let down their guard as they get more comfortable. Let's see what else we get here for you. My group fours. What else do we have about your future relationship? Let's see. We also have the Emperor being reversed. This person might be a little bit insecure, but it's like a cute insecure, if that makes sense. It's like a really cute insecure, because actually, you know what I get from the Emperor being reversed? You're going to look at them thinking like, wow, this person is so accomplished. Like, I really admire this person. This person is so like interesting. And you kind of hold them up on a pedestal, but yet they don't kind of see their own worth. You know, those people who like, you're like, why are you not confident? You're like the coolest person I know. You're so successful. You have all these things. Because I do feel like your person, they're so intelligent. They're so smart. They have so much that they could be confident about, but yet they're like so humble to the point where you're like, wait, you're like so great. Why don't you see your own greatness? You know what I mean? It's like they almost like play down their own greatness a little bit. Let's see what else we get here for you. My group fours. We also have the Five of Cups also showing up as well. So this person, they've definitely had their fair share of disappointments in their life, and they almost seem like not super hopeful about love. They seem not super hopeful about it, but I feel like you're the one that's like reinvigorating their hope. Or perhaps this could also be you going into it. If you've been scorned in the past before and you're not super hopeful about love, I actually feel like this person is going to completely change around your world, because when we see these two full cups back here, I feel like this is the shift of realizing, oh my God, wait, there are amazing people out there. There are kind people. And I feel like this relationship particularly is going to shift your perspective on realizing that there are still good people out there. Let's see. I feel like this person also might they've been like dealing with some harder emotions. They've been going through like a harder time, and I think it's to deal with their past relationship that didn't work out, and they're like really learning how to release that and to realize that there are good things out there. And again, that could be you too. Perhaps you're going through that right now and needing to realize like there are still good people out there. We also have attraction. So there's definitely going to be an amazing attraction between you and this person. There's going to be tons of passion between you and them. And in fact, this person is so deep and kind of has this like mysterious quality. And I'm almost getting that there's going to be this like intense passion between you two, this depth. You know how like physical intimacy gets amplified through like emotional intimacy? I really feel like you and this person, there's going to be like such a depth of intimacy because of like the mental and emotional addition on top of everything. That's just something that's coming through. We also have separation coming out, and we also have soulmate And we also have release your ex. So yeah, this person, I feel like they'll have just gotten out of a relationship when you meet them. Or perhaps, again, this could talk about you. Perhaps you've just gotten out of a relationship and you're still kind of not fully over the past. But this person is like coming through and will help you kind of release the past. But there's something here where either one of you is just sort of getting out of a relationship, and then all of a sudden you meet each other and it's like, wait a second, you're like showing me an entirely new world, and maybe I need to let go of my past and stop hoping that my past comes back and instead just move forward, right? So there's that kind of energy. So let's go ahead and dive into our last cards here, and then we'll get into our astro dice to get some like zodiac sign information. But let's see. We also, this card has been popping up for almost everybody all of a sudden. Paradox. So the paradox that I'm feeling for you is this person is going to help you see new sides to things that you've never seen before. And they're also going to almost open you up in a way where you thought like, you know what I'm getting from this? If any of you relate to this statement, this is what I'm really feeling. If any of you thought like, no, my ex is like my person, they're going to be my only person, that's the only person I could probably ever fall in love with, I don't know if I'm ever going to find love again, you're going to notice a wild paradox, because this person who's coming into your life is going to show you a depth of emotion that you've literally never reached before, to the point where it's like a paradox where all of a sudden you're like, oh, I thought I could never fall in love so deep again, but all of a sudden I find myself deeper than I've ever been before. That's going to be this relationship. And that's what I'm getting from this card, which is actually different from how it translated to the other readings. But in this particular reading, that is what I feel like it is presenting for you. We also have higher perspective. This person's going to help you rise up emotionally, especially if you've been emotionally going through a harder time. This person's going to help you rise up and feel like all of a sudden renewed and high vibe and all that. We also have warrior. So this person's going to increase your confidence, especially in the way that they uplift you and the way that they speak about you and the way that they view you. All of a sudden you're going to be like, wait a second, you know what? I am really great. So it's almost like you two uplift each other in confidence. And also the chemistry between you two is very, very good. So diving into our astro dice, let's go ahead and see any last information that we can get for you. So we have Saturn, which is the planet of commitment, in Cancer, in the 7th house. Wow, there's like genuine, real commitment here. Saturn being in the 7th house can often indicate marriage. And so perhaps this is somebody that you're going to end up marrying, or at least be in a very, very committed long-term relationship with, because Saturn in the 7th house is definitely long-term relationship energy, and could even potentially lead to marriage for some of you. Being in the zodiac sign of Cancer, it's definitely, there's emotional depth here. There's such emotional depth between you and this person. Like, oh my gosh, it's uncanny. It's going to be the deepest love you've ever felt in your life. At least thus far, you know, right? But I'm getting that this person might be actually your lifetime person. So perhaps in all of your life, this will be your deepest relationship. So yeah, Saturn being in the 7th house, this definitely has the potential to lead to marriage, or at the very least be very long-term. And there's such emotional depth there, which is beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. Hold up, I almost forgot. We were about to do the astro dice as well to get the zodiac sign. Never mind me, I'm moving way beyond. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and roll the astro dice to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that this person is. This is a general reading, so these zodiac signs don't mean that this is like, you know, take it all or leave it, but these are just the most likely zodiac signs that this person will be, okay? So we have Pisces coming through. We also have Pisces again. So Pisces is definitely a powerful zodiac sign. We also have Sagittarius energy. And we also have Capricorn energy. So those are the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that this person will be. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. My beautiful group number 4s. It definitely seems like this person is going to brings such depth and such transformation in realizing that even deeper, more respectful, more amazing love literally exists out there. And this person's gonna be helping you see that. So, whoa, I'm so excited for you and this new relationship. I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye.